Hello, everyone. This is Adrienne from Fame Consulting with the Lunchtime Live. So, for today, I will be walking through how to get an EIN for a single member LLC. So, what I'm going to do is just walk you through Form SS4 first, and then I'll actually do a fake entity on the IRS website. I will not be submitting this, but I'll just be walking you through the screens on the IRS website, and the link will be shared below this video. So, for the SS4, it's almost identical to what you will see on the IRS website, but this form is just a good way to see all the questions that the IRS is going to ask you on the website, but just see it in one easy box. So we're really going to walk through questions 1 through 12 quickly. So these are the things that you'll need in order to file for an EIN. You need the legal name of the entity. So if you filed an LLC with the state, it'll be the name of the entity that you filed with the state. If you just filed it, most likely you don't have a trade name or a DBA for the business yet. This is not required. This is not a trust. There's no trustee. You will have the mailing address for your business, the same mailing address that you use to file the LLC with the state. So you'll put the street, the business number. So if it's like 123 ABC Road, you'd put that there. You'll put your city, state, zip code. Next, you will then also list the county and state where the principal business is located. And this is super important. So this is required. You have to designate a responsible party who is going to be filing for the EIN. So that person will have to list their name and their social or ITIN number or EIN if it is a business that is the responsible party for purposes of applying for an EIN for the business that you just created. Then we will answer yes to this question. Is this application for a limited liability company, an LLC? Yes. Then you'll have to enter the number of LLC members. Since this is a single member LLC, you will say there's only one member, and that's important because when you get to question 9, depending on how you answer 8B will determine how you will respond to 9A. So if it's a one member LLC, it's considered a sole proprietorship for tax purposes, and you would file the business taxes on your personal tax return on your 1040 that you file every year. If it's 2 or more members of an LLC, then you are by default considered a partnership for tax purposes, and then you're required to file a Form 1065, which is due March 15th annually. Once that's filed, the members of the LLC will get what's called a K1, and that K1 needs to get filed with their personal taxes. All right, so we're on box 9A. Going down to 9B, it's not applicable because this is not a corporation. So now we're going down to 10A, the reason for applying. In most cases, it's, you started a new entity if you just filed the paperwork with the state, or for banking purposes. So, you would just designate the reason why you're applying for an EIN, the date the business started. Normally it's the date that you filed your paperwork, and then the closing month of the year. Most entities, you end on December 31st. So those are the 12 boxes that you really need in order to do your EIN application. And now I will walk you through the IRS website. So 1 second. I don't think we want to see all my bookmarks, but it's fine. All right. Great. So this is the IRS website. Again, as always make sure the website ends in a .gov to make sure that you are on the right website before you provide any of your own personal information. We always want to look out for scams. So this is what the website looks like. You'll go to apply online now. Of course, you will read through all of these disclosures here to make sure that you are in the right place and you're doing the right thing. You will begin the application. If it's a single member LLC, we will select LLC from the list here. Click continue. We will read these disclosures, like I said. We'll hit continue. How many members are in the LLC? So they're asking you this up front because they want to know what information they will need in the next section. So we said it's a single member, so we're going to say it's one. We will say that it's located in New York. This is just an example. We're not really doing this filing. This is not a real entity. Okay, they'll ask you again to confirm what you've provided. If you wanted to go back, you still can go back here. Once you get a little further into the application, if you make a mistake, you actually need to start the entire application again. So why did we start? Why are we applying? We started a new business, or we could say, maybe I could say banking purposes, or whatever our reason is here. I will put in the name of the responsible party. And this is not a real social. So this is no one's real information here. So I would never provide real information or socials on a live video. So here you have to choose one of these answers here. If you are the owner and you're applying, you will always check this first option here. You are one of the members of the LLC, you're authorized, or you're a managing member, then you will pick that option. And then at the end of the application, you will actually get a PDF copy of the EIN letter. If you hire a third party to do this for you, they will complete this option here. I'm not going to walk you through that because this wouldn't be applicable to you if you're having a third party do this. So this is the option you'll pick if you are the owner. Errors occurred. So right here, we're being blocked because it does not match to the IRS database. So I will provide some different information now. And we will move forward. So the IRS system is very smart. They are going to see right away that if you have incorrect information there, it will block continuing further. So now they're going to ask you for the physical address or location of the LLC. Here you will put in your whatever street address that you'd like to use. I will be putting in my street address now, and then I will come back. And then it also gives you the ability to put in a different mailing address if you have a different physical location versus mailing address. So you do have that ability to put in those two addresses if you wanted to do so. So now you'll put in the legal name of the LLC. If you had a trade name, you put that information there. You'll say the county where it's located. The state, you'll say the state where you actually filed your articles of organization for your LLC, the month you started, the year. You'll hit continue, and then it will ask you to tell them a little bit more about your entity. So you have to answer these questions. I will say, read through all the disclosures. If you have any questions about what these things mean, you can always click here for some more information. We're going to say no for now, that none of these things are applicable. And then you will pick a category here to determine what type of operations this business will be conducting. So for purposes of this example, we'll just say it's rental and leasing. If you were involved in a different type of service, you would pick the service or category that applies to you. If you don't see a category that applies to you, you would select other here. Then based on the category that you select, it will then prompt you to answer some additional questions. And then this should be the last question. Okay, so then now this is your final screen. We're not going to go any further here because, again, this was a fictitious entity just for purposes of this example. So what you would do now is select how you'd like to receive your EIN letter. If you're on the computer and you have the ability to download a PDF and you have Adobe Reader or some type of PDF reader software on your computer, you would say receive letter online. Then you will hit continue, you'll hit continue in the next screen, and the PDF would load for you. If you would prefer to receive it by mail, you can select this option. It normally takes 2 to 3 weeks to get that in the mail, but you have the ability to pick whichever option works better for you. Most people go for the, hey, let me receive it online right now. Then you have it immediately, and you, at that point, if you wanted to go and open a bank account for your entity, you'd have your EIN letter, you'd have your articles of organization, your filing receipt. You would have enough documentation to actually go to your banking institution and open a business account for your bank. So I'm going to stop here. This is everything for today. So I hope this video walkthrough was helpful. This is how you can obtain an EIN number for free through the IRS website. We went through Form SS4. They're the same questions that you would have to answer on the IRS website. So if you weren't ready to go and do the application online, you could always print or obtain a copy of SS4 online and then complete that information, or see if you have all the information you need, then go to the IRS website and actually submit everything online. If you ever need help completing your SS4 or EIN application, you can always reach out to me, and I'll be back next Wednesday. So have a great week.